Wealth isn't built through big, perfect decisions. It's built through a myriad of little, often overlooked choices.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.
We are thankful to have created for you free access to over 743 Life's Inside Track episodes where we share insider tips, making house, home, and building wealth wisely through real estate. And great news is you can get access to them like every day of your life if you want to listen to us that much. All you need to go do is go to YouTube and our Dekker Team channel or go to chri.ca. There are, like I said, 743, and that's 3 segments of each. How crazy. So we're excited you're with us. It is fascinating when we think about what it is that builds momentum, true momentum, when it comes to building wealth. I've often thought I got to make the right buying decision. I got to buy it at the right time. I got to buy it right price. I got to do it right. Mm-hmm. And I don't actually have to get it right.
Well,
not bang on
consistently.
Right. Because here's the reality. The value of a house isn't actually a finite number. Mm-hmm. Right? So if somebody says, what's my house worth? What's my house worth? Yeah, I said that tripping on my tongue because it's a question that you can't really answer until we have a buyer that's decided what they're willing to pay and what you're willing to accept. Otherwise, the range, easy, in terms of what's the true value, it's a 10% spread. 10%. So in a $500,000 house, it's easy a $50,000 conversation. Who's right? If somebody says it's worth $5.25, somebody says it's worth $500, and somebody says it's worth $475, and anything in between, who's actually right? Yes. Everyone's right because the first 90% on average is hardcore solid value. The rest of it is emotional value. It's how well does it suit my needs? Does it have can I picture myself in it? Are the colors exactly what I imagined? Is everything I love about it right there, right now? So on one day over the course of the last 37 years, there's been hundreds of times where we've had multiple offers. The spread frequently has been more than 10%. We've seen it as much as 50%. Now, okay, that's crazy, and that doesn't happen every day. And yet 10% is basically an every time you have multiple offers occurrence from top to bottom. Who's right? Yes. And so we don't have to get that at the lowest number possible. We just have to get it where it works for us and we get the home that we're looking for and then stay with the plan.
Stay with the course. Yeah. Because real progress, it comes from 3 different things.
Yep.
Time, positioning, and consistency.
Right.
That's where wealth growth lives. And time, like we said earlier, sooner you can get in. Even the Bank of Canada says that long-term housing data shows that Canadian home prices have generally trended upward.
Well, over time, they always trend upward.
And in the Ottawa area, it's about 5% per year
on average.
Some years it's 20, some years it's negative, but on average, 5%. So it's built over time. That's the first factor. Second is positioning. Now, what does positioning really mean?
It has a lot of factors. I'm going to say one that I love. When you buy a home, how you take care of it positions whether the value is going up or down. How you maintain it. Are you doing the things that increase its value or just doing the pretty things, which may or may not ever increase the value? Are you maintaining the furnace? Are you being proactive with the wear items? So I know my parents spent a lot of money on an addition and they had a great contractor and they did it all right. However, they have now a complicated roof line. Although they have a metal roof, it's a lifetime, it should never leak. They're getting water in. Well, in the fall, when they noticed they had a little problem, they didn't jump on it. And now it's a big problem. So at the first sight of an issue, jump on it. That helps. And even before there is an issue. If it looks like you're going to have an issue, address it before you be proactive. So
Yeah.
that's positioning.
Yes, it is. And my type of positioning is, what do I do with my money? Where do I position it? So if I make $100, do I, spend on lifestyle for 70 and 30? Do I move that into education, into wealth building, into all kinds of different things, right? Like, what do I do with that? That's positioning. And if I earn $20, do I put, and I'd say surplus $20, do I take that surplus $20 and put it into a tax-free savings account or an RRSP that's positioning me for future wealth building, right?
Right.
If
And positioning you not to have stress
yeah,
in the day-to-day, because you've got an emergency fund if you do
Right.
that. You've got things to fall back on, because no matter what, I think for most of us, life is going to happen. And we're not going to see it until it's there.
right. So now, instead of putting my $20 into savings, let's say I spend $30 on dinner because I'm feeling a little depressed because I didn't make as much, or work was hard, or whatever. And
Or
so,
you yelled at me.
yeah, or something, So I go eat out, and lunch is like $30 now,
Easy.
right? At a restaurant.
Easy.
And so now I've spent more than I earned, and I've spent it on something that just disappeared, poof, vanished, right? So that's what I call positioning. And then there's consistency. Is it okay to every once in a while go have a restaurant meal? Yes, it is. But consistency is the
Unless
key.
you're Yetta, she'll stop you.
Yeah, she'll try to stop me. Consistency is not, I'm going to consistently go out for dinner. It's consistently I put money away, and then the odd time I splurge and go out for dinner, and it's something
Right.
special.
Right. And consistency also has to do with, what have you automated? What is easy? How is it easy to put your money away? Do you have it set up so that automatically a certain portion gets taken at the bank as soon as it gets in and distributed accordingly? And not a lot of employers will still do that. Or is your consistency eroding your wealth? Because I know we got caught with a bunch of subscriptions we didn't even know we'd subscribed to. And they were consistently taking money out of our bank account. So it can work for you or against you. And we're saying momentum has to be when you're aware of what things are actually working for you rather than against
Yeah,
you.
that's why all the software companies went from
Oh,
a one-time purchase, $500-$600. They said, oh no, well, if we charge $20 a month, in 2 years we've made our full purchase price. But most people will keep subscribing on and on and on, and they may not pay for an upgrade in their software if we charge them all up front, right?
right.
So that's where they're learning consistency. And if we have consistency in our wealth building, now we're doing a great thing for ourselves, right?
Now we get momentum. And we can see it in our clients, which will share a great story about how many of our clients, but one in particular, chose to make the little tiny choices up front that set them up for a long-term win 15, 20, and 30 years down the road.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to be excited to meet with them again this summer. So when you begin to see how momentum is actually built, something shifts again. And the focus moves from what others are doing to what you're measuring for yourself. And we're going to talk about that in segment C.
Yeah. So we're thrilled that we get to clarify your options, because when your options are clear, your wisdom will flow.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward